Hello everyone and welcome back to our community. If you're new, I'm Jen. I'm so glad you're here. I focus on all things self-care, health, wellness, productivity, workout classes while living in New York City. It's a lot, but I swear it all makes sense. So today I want to talk about how I recovered from and got re-inspired after an extreme stage of burnout and how you can too. Because there are some clear steps that I took and I feel like now I kind of have a roadmap for myself for when it probably inevitably happens again. For those of us who are just like really inspired, ambitious, driven, motivated people that like go and fall into hustle culture. It'll probably happen again, but now we have a roadmap. So here's how you can do it too. Let's get into it. I am sipping on my detox tea from Sakara. I'm addicted to Sakara teas. I have a code JENLAUREN for 20% off. We're gonna start with how I knew I was burnt out. I felt like I was drowning at all times. I felt like I could not dig myself out of my to-do list. I felt like the most fun or mundane of tasks that used to just be like something I would do on the daily felt so daunting, and I would procrastinate until the death of me. Instead of editing a video or brainstorming video ideas or something that would normally be like really fun or just normal for me to want to do, I felt like I had no time to do it, but then I would spend time scrolling on my phone and just procrastinating. So that's how it turns out for me. It's just like I push off doing and I'm just treating myself and my body crappier and crappier, and I just spiral. So how do we get out? Step one. I know this might not be what you want to hear. This is the video that you clicked on, but just hear me out. It makes sense. Take a break. It does not mean a whole month. It doesn't mean a year. Take a break. This could mean 6 hours. This could mean 6 days, but let's dive into the why behind it. So with just taking 1 to 3 days off of TikTok after being consistent for, I want to say 2 months every single day, I naturally and organically felt re-inspired and reinvigorated and excited to make TikToks on like day 4. All I did was just release the pressure off when and how many TikToks I had to make. Specifically for TikTok, that's not gonna hinder your growth. 100% consistency is key, and we'll dive into that. But on TikTok, you know, the algorithm's really cool and that you can take 2 days off and then the next day your video goes absolutely viral and it changes your life. So it's a really cool algorithm in that you kind of can get away with taking a day off if you need it. Consistency is so important. It is key. I'm not saying take a break like 3 times every single week because that's just being inconsistent. But if you need to take one true, nourishing, intentional breather, it's gonna help you show up consistently with quality content once you're reinvigorated and back. So just remember that taking this one true, intentional, nourishing break that we're gonna take you through step by step is going to make sure that you can show up consistently with quality content once you're back. So even doing this once a quarter, once a month, whatever it means for you. For me, it started with today. I was like, I'm just not gonna give myself any pressure to post TikTok today. Like, I'm off of the app today. And it lasted for, I wanna say, a day and a half to 3 days. I really don't remember. This was a month ago, but I kind of just eventually went on my walk. This is like a big thing for me to feel re-inspired. I went on a walk one day and I was listening to a podcast and it was sunny out and I just like wanted to make some TikToks. So eventually it'll come back to you. So after step 1, take a break. Step 2 is set boundaries to make sure that you can come back to yourself and prioritize mindful practices. Things that are important during this break to reset. It's important for every single day, but if you have reached a point of extreme burnout like me, I'm sure you've sacrificed a lot of these things that I'm about to list. So it's coming back to these things, resetting, so that when your break is done, you can show up from a better place. In turn, that is going to make you show up with better energy that attracts people online. We're talking prioritizing getting a better sleep, waking up early to meditate or to do breath work, to journal, to get clear-headed, and to be sure you are not hanging out with anyone that drains your energy. I want you to make a list. One side of the list, people who fuel me and give me energy. One side of the list, people who drain my energy or make me anxious. We are not hanging out with those people right now. And if you feel the need to like let loose and be more social and stop putting so much pressure on yourself with social media and being social like really fuels you, let's hang out with people on this side of the list that nourish you, fuel you, re-inspire you. For me, it's getting coffee with friends that just like dive deep into where our lives are at right now, career-wise. We like kind of have a really productive, creative brainstorm, which, side note, I've been doing this with a lot of friends lately. My friends have a hobby or, you know, something they know they're good at, but they don't really know what to do with it. And I'm like, oh, you either need to create an Instagram and it's called this and you're gonna sell your product on Etsy, or you're going to create these type of videos. I don't know. I just am good at like seeing where you're lost and what you like to do and bringing it into a clear vision with next steps and deliverables. So I did just create a Calendly link. I'm gonna also post this on TikTok, but if you want like a 45 minutes of a BFF creative brainstorm sesh, you have my undivided attention as your best friend for 45 minutes. You're feeling lost, you don't know what to do with your life, you don't know whatever it is, I'm just gonna like help you and see a vision for you. So I'll put that Calendly link in the description below. Back to what I was saying. If you don't have anyone in your life to do that with, hit me up. But prioritize people like that for this break time. And then just get really intentional about coming back to yourself. If you're not a super spiritual or mindful person as it is, take this time to find what does work for you so that you have these things in your toolbox. You try out a bunch of different things. On my podcast, Dare to Self-Care, every single podcast episode, I ask my guests, what is your top self-care tip? And it's just a fun way to show you that there's so many ways to practice self-care and try different things out, see what works for you, and then you have it in your toolbox for when you need it, like right now. Using these practices to listen to your intuition, to get clear on what you really want, come back to your why. Why are you creating content? Why do you love this? What do you love about it? What's your mission behind it? What's your message behind it? Are there any limiting beliefs or things that are blocking you from getting to the next level? Let's listen to that inner voice. Let's journal on it. Let's do Kundalini, whatever we gotta do to figure out what's going on and clear our path for ourselves and just come back to you. So when you can finally get quiet and let go of all the shoulds in your mind, like I should be doing this, I should be doing that, and you figure out what's really stopping you and what's really getting in your way and what you really want to do in your soul, that's going to help you come back from burnout, and that's going to help you come back with a sense of this is why I'm doing this is my purpose, and just come back as your authentic self instead of someone who is just pushing to get content out for the sake of being consistent and like burning yourself to shreds and just not showing up with the energy that you want to be giving out anyway. So step 3, once you've taken care of yourself, you're ready, you feel like your tools in your toolbox are ready to go, you feel, you know, a little rejuvenated and re-nourished. Here's what I did next. So my therapist was like, where do you feel most inspired? I was saying, I feel like I need to have like a meeting with myself. Like I don't have a manager. I don't have anyone that I hired. Like I need to have a meeting with myself. And that's another thing. If you need to like get re-inspired or get clear on a strategy, hire someone like me or someone who does consultations, like Lucy Fink does consultations where she helps you with YouTube strategy or video editing. Hire someone like that and invest in yourself, just to reboot and jumpstart if you're looking to invest in this financially. But anyway, my inspiring place was a coffee shop in New York City, specifically this one. It's called Now or Never. It's in Soho, which is a really inspiring space for me in general. And this coffee shop is like a living room vibe. It's really natural lighting. And that is where I filmed a video of the 5 best coffee shops to work from in New York City. And I interviewed the guy there and I just felt really in flow. And like that was like my true authentic self there when I was filming that. So this is the place that came to mind for me. I carved out a Sunday specifically because on a weekday, I feel like there's always something else I could be doing, right? So I showed up on a Sunday, I dedicated the whole day as much as I needed to just sit there and do what I needed to do. And we're gonna get into the nitty-gritty of what I did. But the first step of this is finding out that place that feels inspiring, a place that you can get uninterrupted time with yourself. Maybe that inspiration comes when you're in nature or on the beach or in a brewery. Maybe you make content about art and being in an art studio really helps you. So here's what I did. It was a lot of research and trend spotting, and then we get into the planning. So first we're gonna get into finding inspiration in the brainstorming and the trend spotting space. So specifically for YouTube, since you're here on YouTube, let's start there. What I did was I would research key terms that, you know, maybe you would find me from. So like workout classes in New York City, productive vlog in New York City, self-care in New York City, all of these terms that I feel represent my content. After actually defining my brand pillars again, I just came back to, I try to bucket it into 3 things. So it's New York City, self-care, and workout classes. So it all falls within like wellness, productivity, it all falls into those 3 buckets. So with those 3 buckets in mind, I started searching key terms. I started seeing who else is creating content in this space. And then I go to the filter tab and I filter out to last month or last 3 months. I played around with that and then view count. And I then searched, if you have vidIQ vidIQ is a Google Chrome extension, and it'll just help you. It's kind of like TubeBuddy, if you've ever heard of that. It helps just to give you more analytics and SEO on your YouTube page. So when all of these things came up, let's say self-care in New York City, and in the last month and the most viewed, I can then see how many subscribers these people have compared to views. So any video that got more views than they had subscribers, I analyzed the content in the video, but mainly I analyzed because people have to see it and then click on it. So I analyzed the title and the thumbnail, and I had an entire Notion document where I would write down key terms that I think really worked for them, or just like the style of their thumbnail or the style of their title. Like maybe it's a semicolon, maybe it's capital letters, maybe it's super vague, maybe it's super specific. So it's just like trying to figure out the trends in my space and what's working for other people to get more views than subscribers. So that was like a very strategic thing I did. And then it helped me get inspiration. So what are the trends? And YouTube feels a little dead right now, but if there was like, you know, everyone's trying out waking up at 4 a.m. every day for a week, like I would have recognized that and done it the next week. So things like that. And then just finding who are new YouTubers on the rise. So I went into Facebook groups, I went into my Rella Slack group, and any other community where I'm connected with other creators or other viewers of creators, and I wrote, who are YouTubers or TikTokers that are on the rise right now? That's something I love to do, because someone who might have blown up 10 years ago, what they did, why would I study that? Because that's not gonna work today. So I will look up who is popping off, who is doing it right today, this month of this year in this social media climate. I pick out the people who resonate with me, who I enjoy to watch, and I just catch on to their strategy a little bit and get inspired. Even if it just makes me excited to create content, that's a win too. And then another way you could do this specific thing in TikTok is you search, again, a keyword, and then you'll also filter, and you'll filter to, let's say, last 3 months, view count, bada bing, bada boom. You'll study it in the same way. But really for TikTok, it was a lot of like inspiration, like who's getting all of these views in my space right now, and why are they getting all the views? Why are they popping off? Let's see, what's their content about? Like, I am not copying by any means, because I do not believe in my heart that that's how I'm gonna pop off. I believe get inspiration, get excited, see what topics people are liking, see, what people are talking about in this space, but I would never copy, because why would anyone follow me if they're already following that person? I want to be known for being myself. Another big part of this step is just seeing that it is possible today. Like I mentioned with YouTube, and it feels like dead or whatever because of TikTok, it is still possible. And people are still getting views and are still getting a lot of subscribers. And on TikTok, people are, popping off after they just posted their first video last week and it changed their entire life. Like, it is happening, it is possible. This is another great thing to do if you're looking to get brand sponsorships. You'll go to similar people in your niche and see what brands they're working with in a similar follower range to you as well. I know I talk with my hands a lot. Also in Notion, I started on the heels of all the videos I was watching that got me re-inspired. It made me able to flow brainstorming ideas out of myself. So even if it was just vlog titles, so that's something I never do, is plan out my vlog title, but seeing self-care vlog or fitness vlog and all these different ways you can do it, it did allow me to help plan out even my vlog content. I would come up with titles that, based on everyone else's titles that worked really well for them, how can I make them my own? So I had a whole new title document. I separated it into I tried this, because that's a huge part of my channel. So it'd be I tried sound healing, I tried salt cave, then all the workout classes I want to try coming up. That's for YouTube and TikTok. So I just started brainstorming all of these ideas so that even if I do get burnt out again, I have this list to come back to. So then step 4. This is the final step on the journey from mindfulness to research and getting re-inspired to now we're implementing. Get out your Google Calendar. If you're someone who plans on a written plan or whatever it is, for me it's Google Calendar. So whatever, if it's a whiteboard, whatever your planning style is, if you don't have one, you're gonna make one right now. Google Calendar. I'm a big fan of the digital calendar, because with content creation, you gotta move things around. I planned on filming this video maybe 2 weeks ago. I had to push it to a different week, and without feeling any shame, I just slid it over digitally and could see, oh, I'm not doing much on that Monday, let me film it there instead, setting myself up for success. I got out my Google Calendar. First, I planned out when I want to upload every video, right? So it was okay, I want to do Tuesday, Thursdays. Every Thursday, let's say, is a vlog. I just put vlog for every Thursday, and then I would go in and specify what type of vlog. And then every Tuesday, let's say, I would do the I tried this video, the 5 best this, whatever, that kind of video. So that's how I planned it. That's what made sense in my head. And it never goes goes as planned. I'm always moving them around every single week, but just to have like, these are the videos of the week. And then once I had the videos when I wanted to upload them that made sense, I backtracked for each video. When am I gonna film this one? Oh, here's a Monday where I'm completely free. Let's film 3 sit-down videos in that day and time batch it in that day. Oh, I'm uploading I Tried F45 for a week in 4 weeks from now. Let me schedule my F45 workouts for all of next week, and then also schedule in the filming of the review the following week. So video by video, actually planning out, can I realistically get this done in time? Maybe I couldn't. Maybe I couldn't fit F45 in for that entire week and I have to push it a month later. So making sure that you're actually planning it out strategically is gonna make you feel so much more free for the next month or so as you move forward after this little meeting with yourself. You will feel re-inspired, reinvigorated, like you have a plan, and just 10 times lighter and more excited because you're like, wow, I have a strategy behind this. I'm excited about these videos coming up. I have a plan with the break paired with putting yourself in a space to feel re-inspired, feel like you're giving yourself some self-care time for yourself, because we're giving so much time to everyone else, especially if this is a side hustle. This is time for you. I want you guys to comment any of your social channels down below because I would love to check you out and support you. If you want any more resources or re-inspiration for any of those mindful practices, self-care, you don't know where to start with that, head over to my podcast, Dare to Self-Care. I have wellness experts and entrepreneurs and social media stars on there all the time to talk about it. Please subscribe if you are not subscribed yet. Join this incredible community. Give this video a thumbs up if it was helpful, and I will see you guys next week. Mwah.